tomato, base sauce
So
with, and I think what works really well, and when this was
What's up? It's Luis from America's Best Restaurants, and we travel the country coast to coast to find the places where you need to eat at on a weekly basis. And this week, we are in Michigan, and we're at a restaurant called One North Kitchen and Bar. And this restaurant is humongous, and it's unbelievable. There's things for everybody in this restaurant. Plus, we're gonna talk to Chef Kurt. He's an executive chef. Dude knows his stuff. We're gonna see some of their items like their patty melt, which is straight fire. Plus, we're gonna see a couple of other things that, trust me, they're gonna make your mouth water. So look, I know you're hungry because you're watching this, so why don't you come with me? Let's go check it out. All right, everybody, so now we are inside One North Kitchen and Bar here in Lansing, Michigan. And we have here the one and only Chef Kurt. So Chef, appreciate having you here. I appreciate you having us here, of course. So Chef, let me ask you my first question, because I love talking to chefs.
Yeah.
What was it the one thing, or how did you decide that I'm gonna be a chef?
It's kind of a goofy story in a way, because I actually went to school to be an engineer and was failing miserably, but was doing really well working in restaurants. And my roommate at the time was like, you need to be in hotel restaurant management. And I'm like, what's that? He's like, it's my degree, you idiot. And I'm like, well, you're in business. He's like, yeah, we're in the School of Business. And so I think I always thought I'd worked in a restaurant since I was 15.
Okay.
And whether it was as a dishwasher and then a prep cook, and it just came natural. And I always thought it would be a backup job, but I didn't. When you finally kind of lean into it, it's a fun profession. Okay. And it's a lot of hard work, but in the end, it was something that just came naturally to me, and I really enjoyed.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's been a fun journey, I'll tell you that.
I love it. I love it. So you have the capability to basically create everything from pretty much nothing.
Yeah, we can. I can. I love to compete. Mystery baskets. So, those are always fun to do, and they don't always turn out quite right. But I think it helps you. I think it helps you think about food and how you see food. And so, I've got a bunch of chef friends of mine, and we'll throw ideas out at each other like, okay, we're gonna take bok choy. And what else can you do with bok choy instead of just one thing? Yeah. And so how many other different ways can you serve it? So it's just a different way to look at food. That's cool. Doesn't mean it's right or better, it's just different. Right.
No, absolutely. Well, one of the creations is this. Talk to me, what do we got?
So you got a andouille pasta, version of jambalaya. Okay. So you've got andouille sausage, chicken meat, shrimp, that Cajun Creole seasoning, tomato, base sauce. So with, and I think what works really well, and when this was created, the way the rice is cooked too. The rice isn't overcooked, it's not undercooked, it's a good amount. You get that good flavor throughout.
The rice is perfect.
Yeah. And I think that's the attention to detail that I think is really important, that they do a great job with. So once you've got a good recipe, you've got a standard, they execute it extremely well.
Yeah, it's got great flavor. And I mean, for me, arguably, the hardest thing to get right on this dish is the rice.
Yep.
because rice is very easy to undercook and very easy to overcook.
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate that my mother taught me how to make rice from scratch.
Yeah.
So I do it the old school way, put it on the pot, and you know. So I don't use a rice cooker. I just make it from scratch.
Yep.
So that rice is perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect, and the rest of the flavor, oh man, that's a home run. Home run.
It's signature dish. One of our most popular dishes that we sell.
Run.
I mean, it's a nice hearty portion.
Oh yeah,
too.
Juicy. The chicken's juicy, and of course you gotta have the andouille sauce.
Yep.
Otherwise, what are you doing with your life, right? Right?
Absolutely. You know, and you got the Trinity in there, so you got the pepper, the celery, the onion that kind of go with it.
That
too.
dish is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Great.
Wow.
Glad you enjoyed it.
So let me ask you this, Chef. What if you had to make one dish that's your signature? What is that dish, or what is that one ingredient that you're like, this is my thing?
You know, I think over the years, what you know, for a while it was one style of food.
Okay.
You know, I was trained maybe more classic French, Italian, more rustic. But I think what it always comes back to is one specific ingredient, and that's pork.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, my kids, my son's friend called me the pork wizard. So it's kind of funny.
All right.
You know, whether it's a slow cooked pig roast or it's a chop, you know, I just want people to cook pork to the right temperature. You know, whether it's the tenderloin, it's the sirloin, and I think there's so much that you can do with it.
Yes.
That people miss the boat. You know, they think pulled pork, bacon, pork chop. And
That's pretty much it.
Right, and there's so much more. Like you can take that back leg and slow cook it. And you know, you could wrap it in some taro leaves or banana leaves, kind of Kahlua pork style.
Yeah.
You could take the face and make porchetta di testa out of it. The pig cheek meat is phenomenal.
That's the guanciale, right?
Yeah, the guanciale. You know, you and a traditional thing in some pasta dishes too. And so there's so much that can be done with it. And then the curing of the meat and the understanding of how it's cut up more in European style, and that for the curing of it, there's just so much deliciousness in there.
That's cool. The pork wizard, that's awesome. That's really cool. I personally think one of the key things when you're making pork is salting it. Salting it correctly and with the correct amount, whether you do it just dry or whether you do the equilibrium brine. Yeah. Because otherwise it's gonna be like the flavors just won't be there.
Well, and then you can infuse other flavors into it as well, whether it's like a little thyme and some citrus, or whatever that might be. Maybe you want to add a little heat to it. Maybe you got a little jalapeno or some serrano pepper to it. And I think that it lends itself to so many dishes so well too. Like you can put heat to it, you can put spice to it. And when it's done right, it's just done extremely well.
That's very cool. Very cool. Now, we have another dish here. I know this is not pork. It's all good. Talk to me. What do we have here, Chef?
Patty melt. Pretty much classic on some really, really nice bread. Caramelize those onions up. It's one of my favorites. When it's done right, the onions, they're sweet. You got that nice butter, a little salt and pepper, the cheese sauce on the bread.
That's what I was thinking. What is that sauce? That's so good.
We put a little bit of our, it's kind of a version of what I found when I was working in the South called Mississippi comeback sauce. So it'd be like, you know, your special sauce, if you want to call it that. But
that's phenomenal, man.
Yeah,
wow.
It's got just a little bit of heat. You don't realize it's there because, you know, you've got so much richness to cut through, and you've got a little bit of acid in there to kind of balance everything out with the cheese.
This is fire. And off camera, we were eating the fries. The only reason we didn't finish them is because I still wanted fries on the plate, so the plate doesn't look empty. But these fries, I don't know what seasoning you guys put on there, but that's fire.
Yeah, it's a signature One North seasoning that we put on those fries.
And it's different than anything I've ever had. I don't know what it is, but it's amazing.
It's a special blend of seasonings.
Wow. Now, Chef, can you tell me a little bit about the story of One North? How did this place come to be?
You know, I think it was actually created, and it was the idea to kind of create an atmosphere where you've got that sports kind of bar feel to it, like depending upon which way you wanted to go. I'm in for a beverage with a couple of my guys and I want to watch something on TV, or hey, I can come here with my family too. And I think what we focus on is trying to create a memorable meal, create a really positive, memorable meal. So you can come in and have it, whether it's with a couple of your friends or whether it's with your family, but yet food being a big part of the focus.
Yeah.
You know, scratch cooking all the way through, and attention to detail, guest service, super important.
Yeah, when I walked in here, I was very impressed because I feel like there's 3 different restaurants in here, but they're all under one roof, and it's to create essentially 3 different experiences.
Right.
So you have the main dining room, which you can kind of tell it's kind of like the main dining room, and then there's also a front room, kind of set up as like a private, but it's still part of the dining room, which is really cool. It's got a really kind of chill vibe.
Yeah.
Then you have the middle section where it has this gorgeous bar. It's more of a little bit of an intimate feel, but it's got a different vibe than the main dining room.
Yep.
So
yeah, so you can sit here and have a craft cocktail or grab a beer off the tap and still get anything off the menu.
Yeah.
So it's not like, well, if you're sitting in this area, you can only get this. Or if you're sitting here, it's wide open across the board.
Right. And then you have the other side, which is a pretty big side, more of a fun vibe type of thing there. And you have a beautiful horseshoe bar there as well. Which, that's what you were mentioning about. Maybe you want to come with friends, watch some TV, whatever, watch some sports.
Live music, you know, and then and really it's almost the 4th one is the patio.
Oh, the patio is
phenomenal.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty special, and you get those beautiful, you know, kind of spring, summer nights and days. It's a great place to be.
Yeah, when we
just chill.
When we pulled up, we're going, it's like, oh man, that looks really awesome. Then Ryan drives in the back. Oh, I think we're gonna park it. No, let's go back to the front. That's what we're gonna do it because it's so cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks so inviting when you see it from the room. Like, I gotta stop in there. The patio is unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, Scott and Kathy just did such a great job in putting it together. It was kind of a no-brainer when we kind of looked at the space, and it's like, yeah, I mean, people are just gonna drive by here, and then you start seeing all the people there, and you get this vibe of all the people. The garage doors go up. You can hear the live music. I mean, why would you not want to stop in? And maybe it's for a salad, maybe it's for a burger, maybe it's just for something to drink, and you know, enjoy the weather.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm glad that you mentioned the garage doors because that's cool. When it's cold, you keep them closed for the horseshoe bar area. But then when the weather warms up, then you guys open it up so you can people walk in and out. Yeah, it's a really great experience. So pretty much like you said, you can come with your friends, you can come with your family, you can come in with everybody. There's something for everybody here.
Absolutely.
So it's not just one type of restaurant, which is phenomenal. Yeah. Even the waiting area is beautiful. Like you have these awesome couches and leather chairs. Like, can I just hang out here for an hour?
Well, sometimes we get so busy and you don't have a reso or you're not set up, you gotta wait. And so why not again, I think it's about that overall experience, and they did such a good job in designing it. And then there's some Michigan products that you can go ahead and buy while you're sitting there waiting, which I think is pretty cool too.
That's awesome. So cool. I've been very impressed since I walked into the restaurant.
Good.
And now that good. Talking to you even better. So Chef, talk to me about this. What do we got?
So we've got our signature salad, apples, the Granny Smith apple for that bite and a little tartness, bacon, toasted pecans, the blue cheese, just a really nice balsamic vinaigrette. And then you got the sweetness of the cherries in there to kind of balance everything out. So I think what's important when you design a dish, you know, texture's important.
Oh, absolutely.
But then you have, you know, you've got your supporting cast. You've got that tartness from the apple. You got the fat from the bacon and even a little bit from the nuts. You got the sweetness from the cherry. And then that acid from the dressing just balances everything out real nice.
That's awesome. Let me ask you this, because I've noticed this a lot, but I've never asked anybody. Granny Smith comes up all the time. What is it about Granny Smith apples that pretty much everybody uses them in salad?
Well, I think they hold their crispness better.
Okay.
And the other thing to me, you know, Honey Crisps are great and Fuji's are great. For me, they're great for eating, but they're not good for salads because they can sog out a little bit. I don't think that the flavors is pronounced.
Okay.
And I think that, to me, the Granny Smith apple lends itself better because it's still got that, and that's why it's a great baking apple too.
Okay.
It holds its flavor really well. It is pretty, that's not an apple you're just gonna sit there and chomp on by itself.
Got it.
It needs to be a part of something to make it into something special.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, I was always curious about that, but since you mentioned it, it's kind of triggered it. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll ask him because he knows what he's doing. So that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
That's really cool. Now, we have some drinks on the table. Do you know what these are by chance?
No clue.
Perfect. They're beautiful drinks. You know what?
I have no clue what they are.
It's okay.
Every drink I've ever had here, these craft cocktails that they make, they're always killer.
With the magic of editing, we'll put some video of this drink right here, which is called the, whatever it's called, and you'll see the name of it right there. And then we'll also put footage of this other drink, and we'll put on there what it is. So I gotta try this. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really refreshing. This is gonna be amazing for summertime, pretty much any time.
Yeah.
That's very, very refreshing. So good. So good. Wow. Let me ask you one other question, Chef.
Sure.
What is the rarest ingredient you work with? Rarest, weirdest, whatever you want to call it.
Well, the one ingredient that's always kind of tough to get your hands on is good quality foie gras.
Okay. Okay.
And working with that's always fun because it's quite delicious. The other one would probably be truffles, like true truffles, like where you're bringing them in and then you're shaving them table side.
Oh yeah.
Those can get pretty priced.
Oh yeah.
The white ones are just amazing. You know, throw the truffle oil away. That doesn't count.
No, I know
but
what you're
I'm talking about the
real,
the real thing. Those would probably be the two that come to mind.
Now, do you remember the first time that you worked with truffles?
Yeah, you know, it's really funny because I was working in a hotel and I was working in Grand Marché and they're like, okay, well, you're going to have to take care of the truffles and make sure they're coming in. And I'm like, this isn't the pastry area. I don't make truffles. and, I'm like a 19-year-old kid.
Right.
And got no clue.
Yeah.
And again, I just didn't know. And then these things come in and the chef is like being super, super careful about them. Yeah. And he's like, you protect these with your life type thing.
Oh yeah.
And you don't do anything to them. They're going to go in this area. I want them locked up. And he's like, and then I'll let you taste them. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah,
and I remember the first time tasting it, it was just like, wow,
awesome.
that was something I've never had before. And
cool.
Even the smell of it, it's like this intoxicating kind of thing that goes on. It's just phenomenal. And I love it.
That's cool. I love it. Well, look, everybody, if you're looking for more restaurants like One North, if you like restaurant content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you know whenever we drop a new episode. Chef, this has been an amazing experience. But I was already expecting when I walked in. And then I talked to you off camera. We started talking about knives.
Yeah.
So we had a great time. I'm like, all right, this dude knows what's going on. So that's good. So Chef, how can people find out more information about this restaurant?
Oh, you know what? We're on the interweb. So you can, One North Dining, just hit us up on that Google machine. One North Dining, we got a great marketing team. You can follow us on Facebook. To find out what we're doing. We've always got live music rolling, awesome. Different events going on here and there. So check us out when you're in town and enjoy some great food and great atmosphere and just a great overall dining experience.
That's great. No, absolutely. I mean, I've been blown away. This food, I'll tell you right now, this restaurant, 1000% certified legit. I'm very excited about this. I'm going to eat that. I'm going to eat that. I'm going to eat everything. Sorry, Ryan. You're gonna have to find some other food, man. I know we're friends,
we'll cook them some.
All right, it's all good. Look, everybody, I love this restaurant. Like I said, 1000% certified legit. You can also find a full listing for them on americasbestrestaurants.com. That's pretty much it for us. I'm gonna eat some of this jambalaya.
I'm gonna have another French fry
with Chef. Oh yeah. I'm gonna see you guys